Ball's up here. Point defenseman stops the ball, so he's on the ball side. Okay, we don't want our point defenseman on the back side over here. As the D mid is getting in the hole, I like my point defenseman to physically, as the mid is running in the hole, tell him, you got top right. Point, you get to the top right of the box, I got ball. Get set up in your box, and then you're ready to defend it. Ball comes down, got that, goes to the side. Okay, fine, we're covered. We don't need to go out at him. We know we got him, he's not going anywhere. Pass comes to X. Okay, now defensively this can get a little tricky because that's the one person right now. We're playing 4-on-4 on top of the cage, basically. It gets to X. How do we cover this? What I like to do at Stanford, what we did at Princeton, is put pressure on that person at X as quickly as we can. I don't like to have an attackman behind the goal just sitting there and able to look at cutters and figure out what he wants to do. I don't like attackmen to be comfortable behind the goal. I would rather put pressure on them and make them, if they are going to feed, have somebody in their gloves to have to throw it with pressure on them. I just don't want that guy sitting back there. So the way that I get pressure on him right away is as the pass is coming down, as it comes to him, I'm going to rotate from the back side. So as he receives the pass, I'm about 5 yards away from him here, ready to play him. Okay, that rotation is going to pull this D-midi down. It's going to pull this guy over, and it's going to pull, that guy is going to be fine on the pipe, on the back pipe there. So what we're going to end up with is, so the ball's at X right here. What we're going to end up with is this D-midi. Sorry, this guy is going to be on the ball. That D-midi is going to be down on this pipe. This guy is going to rotate to the middle. So now we're playing it like that. We've got the ball covered, and we have the two adjacents covered, and our one guy is playing two up top. If one of these guys decides to cut, say this guy cuts, this man has to take the cutter. We got to take the cutter, let the person float up top. You know, he's the one guy we're leaving open.
Who's going to take the cutter?
The defenseman who rotated to the middle there.
To the middle, okay.
Right. And this is another reason why looking away from the ball is important. If we're ball watching here and staring at the ball, we're never going to see these guys cutting behind us. So as defenders, if you're playing off-ball defense in transition, you've got to be able to look away from the ball to see what's happening on the backside. Just because exactly for this situation. If somebody cuts, we need to know that they're cutting and be able to pick them up. Okay, so let's say that this midi does cut. He cut to the crease. Okay, we got to cover some guy on the crease, so this D-man has taken him. We're leaving the lob pass open, covering the adjacents, and we're covering the ball. Pass is made out here. Okay, that's my man. I'm good. Playing him there. We start to get back up here. Pass goes back up top to this guy. This guy can come, communicate. I got him. You can go play him. We can bump through the middle that way. In reality, by the time you get to this, your defense is going to be back. So you probably won't have to worry about it. It's how do you cover the initial drive from X. This is going to be what we talked about before, the coma slide. So the ball comes down this side of the field to the attackman. We're fine. Gets to X. Okay, let's get ready to play. The attackman starts driving aside. Instead of the defenseman, the near guy coming to him, and this is the typical reaction from a defenseman. You see somebody dodging at you, you want to slide. This is difficult to get them used to, but I think it's a better way of playing it than having this guy come in this right here. The first way we showed, I think, is the best way to play it, if you can get everybody rotating the right way. This coma slide, I think, is the second best way to play it, and that's because as this person pushes this pipe, you're going to rotate out a little bit to make sure we've got this guy covered. This defenseman is coma sliding, coming across the crease, and we're going to meet him at the pipe there. That forces this guy down to make sure that that look doesn't get through. So this guy's coming down, and it pulls this guy to the middle. So now he's in the middle taking any cutters. This guy's down the back side. We've still got the ball covered. We've got the two adjacents covered, and we got the one guy playing two up top. What this coma slide does is allows you to keep all your four guys on top of the goal. So a lot of coaches will say, we're already down a man. I'm not going to put one of my defenders behind the goal. They can't score from behind the goal. I'm going to keep all my guys on top of the cage. If you do that, you are allowing the other team to sit behind the goal with an attackman with the ball on a stick saying, are you open? No. Are you open? Nope. Are you open? No, okay, maybe I'll come. You know, you allow that guy just to sit and make a bunch of different decisions with no pressure on him. So that's why I prefer the first way of getting pressure on him right away, and don't let him go through his reads. Get some pressure on his gloves. But the end result, as this guy drives to the pipe, is the same, that we have ball covered, 2 adjacents covered, and 1 playing 2 up top.